Disconnect the power adapter. Press the power button on the side of the system. Tap the F1 key repeatedly to enter the BIOS setup menu. Use the right arrow key to select the config menu. Navigate down to the power menu option and press enter. Select the disable built-in battery menu option and press enter again. Verify that yes is selected and then press enter. The system will shut down and the battery is disabled. Remove the Thinkpad Pen Pro from the slot. Loosen the 5 captured screws. Pry up the edge of the cover near the hinges to release the clips. Lift the cover from the system. Remove a single screw from the M.2 solid-state drive. Lift and pull the drive from the slot. Disconnect the cables from the wireless WAN card. Remove a single screw from the wireless WAN card. Lift and pull the card from the slot. Disconnect the cable from the system board. Remove the screw from the pin charger cable. Disconnect the fan cable from the system board. Loosen the 4 heat-sink screws in numerical order. Lift the thermal fan assembly from the system. Disconnect the battery cable from the system board. Remove 6 screws.
Here we go.
Lift the battery from the system. Disconnect the USB cable from the system board. Disconnect the pin charger cable from the USB board. Remove 2 screws. Lift the USB and power board from the system. Disconnect the cable from the fingerprint reader. Disconnect the cable from the system board. Disconnect the cable from the NFC card. Peel back the adhesive covering from the trackpad. Disconnect the cable from the trackpad and remove it from the system. Disconnect the cable from the fingerprint reader. Remove the screw from the fingerprint reader bracket. Lift the bracket from the system. Lift the reader from the system. Disconnect the NFC antenna from the NFC card. Peel back the adhesive covering from the trackpad cable. Disconnect the cable from the trackpad. Remove the 4 screws from the trackpad. Lift the system slightly and remove the trackpad. Disconnect the NFC cable from the NFC card. Disconnect the NFC antenna from the NFC card. Pry out the NFC card from the adhesive backing. Disconnect the coin cell battery from the system board. Pry up the battery and remove it. Disconnect the cables from the wireless WAN card. Disconnect the P sensor cable from the system board. Remove blue and orange cables from guides. Remove 3 screws from the left wireless antenna card. Lift the antenna from the system. Remove 4 screws from the right wireless antenna card. Lift the antenna from the system. Disconnect the cables from the wireless WAN card. Disconnect the P sensor cable from the system board. Remove the blue and orange cables from the guides. Remove 3 screws from the right speaker. Disconnect the speaker cable from the system board. Remove the right speaker and cable from the guides. Remove 3 screws from the left speaker. Remove the speaker from the system. Disconnect the track point cable, keyboard cable, P sensor cable, speaker cable, and coin cell battery cable from the system board. Disconnect the fingerprint reader cable and USB cable from the system board. Disconnect the camera LED cable from the system board. Disconnect the wireless LAN cables from the system board and remove them from the guides. Disconnect the LCD cable and speaker cable from the system board. Remove 8 screws from the system board. Carefully lift the system board from the chassis. Remove the screw from the right speaker. Lift the speaker and remove the cable from the guides. Remove the screw from the left speaker. Lift the speakers out of the system. Disconnect the LCD cable from the system board. Disconnect the antennas from the wireless LAN card. Remove the antenna cables from the guides. Disconnect the camera LED cable from the system board. Remove 3 screws from each hinge. Tilt the bottom half of the system up and remove it from the LCD unit.
Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.